Hello Sagittarius, Sagittarius Rising and Sagittarius Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card horoscope for the week starting November 20th, 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you Sagittarius people out there, remember, if you ever want to get a session with me, you do need to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. It's the same place you would go if you wanted to either schedule a session or order a downloadable video file. So, what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, on Tuesday, we have Venus, planet of harmony, attraction, and favor, in your 12th house of your past, your privacy, and your hidden zone. And it's going to be forming a lovely sextile to Pluto, currently in your 2nd house of employment, work, finances, material structures. And with Venus in the 12th house, there seems to be almost an under-the-table kind of deal being struck with you. Is this on the level? I hope so, but it does look to me like this could actually be something that does work out. It does seem to be on the level because it looks like it's coming through somebody in an official position. Usually with Venus, we're talking about winning popularity contests, we're talking about special favors being given to us, and it looks like somebody in a very, very influential position may be trying to help you out behind closed doors. On Friday, however, we've got Mercury, planet of communications, haste, and speed in your sign, forming a tense square with Chiron, currently in your 4th house of home and family. And there may be some tension coming up this weekend with a family member and a discussion that needs to come out that we've been avoiding. This may be calling somebody out or just picking up from a fight or an argument that, you know, we may have skipped over or decided to forego in recent history. Now, recent history being something that probably occurred either in June or perhaps even going all the way back to, you know, this time last year. So pay attention to what's going on when it comes to family dialogues. This could be in, you know, with a family member or a housemate. So what's going on with your cards this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Triumph over Adversity card. This card is basically saying if you see a challenge, it's okay to go and call it out for the BS it really is. Usually when we have the Knight, Triumph over Adversity, we are talking about knowing when to put something to bed for good and to finish it this time. And again, we may be challenged by things that, again, we've been avoiding. You know, if we've been conflict averse, if we've been maybe not necessarily sure of how we'd handle ourselves being put on the spot in an argument or any kind of situation where, again, we may have just been avoiding negativity altogether, it's not being brought up to tease or torture you. You're not a victim here. The challenge with the, you know, that comes from this card is basically saying this is being brought up for you to beat up and win. So this week, again, be careful about procrastinating any unnecessary or any very necessary words or very necessary call-outs that could be going on. Again, I think that's going back to that Mercury square Chiron. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we've got the Hierophant card reversed. And the reason I'm smiling is that, again, this is a neutral card. When it's upright or reversed, it doesn't matter. It could be negative, it could be good. I'm actually getting good from this because it validates what we saw with the astrology. The Hierophant card reverse does indicate a rule being broken, and in this case it does feel like this is a rule being broken for you. Something that again is going against policy, maybe a policy that doesn't make any sense, or perhaps again an authority figure changing their stance or again doing a favor for you. Usually with the Hierophant card reversed, this could also be something that happens outside of the workspace, perhaps with and I have a little bit of kitty hair on my hand. Usually this happens when we have perhaps an opportunity for the recipient, to perhaps even have somebody in a more official position, maybe a financial institution, something that there's a policy being changed, something being altered. And we've had this big theme of rules being changed and rules being broken for the best of all concerned, especially within the last 3 weeks. So I'm not surprised that this is coming to your benefit. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we have the Star card reversed. And there could be some news of a breakthrough when it comes to a friend or a relative, or news of that breakthrough coming through said friend or relative, or a contact you may have among them. The Star card reversed indicates that there is sort of a little bit of progress towards a difficult goal, but it does sort of paint or put the light at the end of the tunnel, or at least it turns on the light at the end of the tunnel, which is good, because sometimes it's not on. And the star card reversed can indicate here a friend or a relative may actually be bringing you some kind of news about something that the both of you thought impossible or not worth it, suddenly becoming, we're hitting some early pay dirt this week. It doesn't look like this is all coming to fruition this week, because the star card reverse still says we're forced to wait, but the good news is it will be there, okay? For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Queen of Swords upright. And the Queen of Swords upright can actually show up here as, perhaps a person who is obsessed with technicality. With the Queen of Swords upright, though, it's not necessarily the end of the world, but, because usually the Queen of Swords upright, they're being very impartial, they're not trying to cause any problems, they're not doing anything personally. But this air sign, most likely female, an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra, could be obsessed with the idea of rules being rules, okay? Everything has got to be, according to standard, whatever that standard is. And usually when she shows up as a challenge, it does indicate them being a bit immobile, or perhaps actually a hindrance, because they're more interested in the books than they are in human beings. The nice thing is again, we don't necessarily have this being the whole 100% truth, because we already see rules getting broken for you. But we may have to muscle this person over so that she does actually understand that it may be worth it in the long run. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Nine of Cups reversed. And even reversed, this can still be actually a very nice card. The problem with the Nine of Cups reversed, though, is that we have sort of a romantic comedy kind of week where everyone is taking everyone's feelings and desires very, very literally. And when it comes to dating or romantic partnerships, you may be getting exactly what you want the way you phrase it. And that might not necessarily be your intention. And it's always very important to make sure that you don't take what your partner says very, very literally, because people aren't necessarily, again, phrasing things correctly. Saying what they say, but not what they mean. And the Nine of Cups reverse could indicate a lot of wishes being granted, a lot of opportunities being met, a lot of people in the best of intentions and the best of hearts going out of their way to see to it that we get what we're asking for. But they're doing what we asked the way we asked it. Maybe not the way we meant it. And there's always a way to change that. It all depends on how we choose to rephrase. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it, Sag. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com. Where's all this cat hair coming from? They're upstairs. Alright, we're gonna go.